All right, so we're going to talk about Missouri quarterback Brady Cook and talk about the keys for success for Cook against this A&M defense. And before we talk about Cook, I do want to talk about A&M's defense. And we are going to look at a few clips of film. We're going to look at some A&M clips and some Brady Cook clips to kind of demonstrate what we're about to talk about. So with that said, let's go ahead and just talk about A&M's defense. Like, what's the main theme when you watch A&M's defense? What are they trying to do? It's been different each game depending on who they are playing, but the one main theme is they're going to try to confuse the quarterback pre-snap and show something else post-snap. They want to force them to make a mistake. They've done a really good job of causing turnovers against the opposing quarterback. You'll see a lot of clips they're about to watch. They'll drop 7 or 8 guys to try to confuse them. And before they drop those guys, like pre-snap, it looks like they are actually about to blitz and they drop back, which we're going to watch here in a second. But against Florida, they only had 12 pressures, 2 sacks against Florida. They blitzed less than 15% of the passing plays, right? So their main goal wasn't to cause a bunch of pressure, or maybe it was. They just weren't able to get to it, but they did not blitz a lot. They wanted to confuse Florida's defense or Florida's quarterbacks. I believe they forced 3 interceptions between Lagway and Graham Mertz, right, against Notre Dame the opening week. They blitzed 32% of the time, so they blitzed more, not a ton, but they blitzed more against Riley Leonard. And Leonard, I don't know if he had a turnover, can't remember, but he didn't have much success in the air. It was very strategic blitzes, again, trying to confuse the quarterback. Then against Arkansas, they had the first 3 turnovers off Green between fumbles and snaps combined. They were able to get pressure on 19. They were able to get 19 total pressures and 3 sacks. Now, Green was holding on the ball a bit long, but Arkansas's offensive line wasn't great either. That definitely did not help him, right? So biggest key with A&M's defense is trying to confuse the quarterback, but I do think there is some room for success because A&M's defense is very athletic, very aggressive. They move the ball very quickly. So I think there is potential for some success off play action, which Mertz is really good off play action. He hasn't done a great job so far this year, but the ability is there. We're going to showcase a few really good throws off play action. But off play action, I think there can be some success. Graham Mertz was 6 of 7. The Florida quarterback was 6 of 7 for 108 and 1 touchdown off play action, which we're going to show here in a second against A&M's defense. So I do think there is some potential and some room for Mizzou to have success off play action. Right. So let's talk about Cook. We talked about the A&M defense. Let's talk about Brady Cook and 3 keys for success for Cook to have against A&M's defense. Because so far, the Missouri's offense hasn't been what it was last year yet. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just hasn't been yet. And they've had 2 real opponents, let's call it, right? Vanderbilt and Boston College, and it's kind of been up and down, right? So keys for Cook, get rid of the ball quick. We're going to see, even if they drop 7 or 8 guys, you still can get rid of the ball quick. Cook was either 1 or 2 in the SEC as far as how many completions he had last year where the ball was out in less than 2.5 seconds. So I think get rid of the ball quick, kind of bore A&M's defense, if you will. Again, the A&M's defense is very aggressive. So you want to kind of bore them a little bit, right? Get rid of the ball quick. 2, I want to utilize play action. We talked about the success that Mertz had against A&M's defense off play action, only 7 attempts, but you want to utilize play action. And we'll look at some clips of Cook on play action, but I think the ability for play action to get the defense out of position, again, athletic, aggressive defense, this could maybe lead to a deep ball completion or 2. And he hasn't, only 24% of Cook's dropbacks have been off play action. They haven't had a bunch of deep throws off play action yet. His yards per attempt are only 5.4 off play action, but a lot of times you can use play action to set up a deep ball, which they haven't done that yet. I think against A&M, you may have that opportunity, and that leads me to key number 3. Well, you need a big, deep throw to win. We need to complete a few deep vertical passes to win. I think you may. A&M's defense, especially, A&M's defense is good and aggressive, but if A&M gets a few good plays on offense, if they're able to score a little bit against your defense, you may need a few deep plays or 2. And so far this year, Cook's only 3 or 14 where the ball is thrown 20 yards or more downfield. There haven't been a ton of explosive plays, at least pushing the ball downfield yet. And you may need 1 or 2 to win this game, right? So again, Cook, 3 main keys: get rid of the ball quick, try to bore the defense, utilize play action to get the defense out of position. And then key number 3, which is debatable, but I think you're going to have a few explosive throws through the air to beat A&M's defense. We're going to look at some clips real quick of Cook. Well, first we'll look at A&M's defense, then we'll look at Brady Cook, and we'll wrap this video up. And this is the first Missouri quarterback content video we've done this year. So if you're new, we do a bunch of SEC QB content. So if you like that type of stuff, please consider subscribing. But with that said, let's go ahead and check out this film. So we're going to watch a few clips of A&M's defense first, and then we'll talk about, or we'll show some clips of Cook. So we'll go ahead and watch it here. So this is A&M's defense. They're, again, when trying to confuse the quarterback. That's their main thing, confuse the quarterback. They have caused a lot of turnovers from the quarterback position here. So Taylon Green, the quarterback for Arkansas, they only bring 3 pre-snap. It looks like they're going to bring more. They just bring 3. They drop 8. We're going to see pressure does get to him, and then they force him to escape and throw a bad interception here. So he rolls out. Let's go ahead and scoot it a little bit forward here. Rolls out and forces him to throw a bad ball, right? So they only brought 3 guys. They didn't bring a ton of pressure. It wasn't their main game plan. Remember, against Florida, too, they only blitzed 15% of the time and caused 3 turnovers. Against Arkansas, they blitzed, I think, 28%, something like that, and caused 3 turnovers. So they want to show something pre-snap and then confuse you post-snap. These next 2 clips of A&M's defense is from Graham Mertz. And remember, Mertz was 6 of 7 off of play action for 108 yards and a touchdown. They didn't have a ton of play action against A&M because they were down by a good amount. But you can see how aggressive the A&M defense is, how it gets them out of position quickly. The athletic, aggressive. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys within 3-4 yards line of scrimmage. That helps open up some shots downfield that I think can potentially be there if you're Mizzou and you're Brady Cook. Nice job by Mertz here. Does take a shot, right? But I do think play action can potentially be there. And we talked about Cook. I think the ability is there. A lot of his big plays last year were off play action, but they just haven't done a lot of that. Yeah, we'll watch one more clip of A&M's defense just to kind of hammer home the point of how aggressive and athletic and talented they are, but how quickly and fast they move to the threat of the run. Let's see if we can go ahead and get here. Apologize. Okay. So, boom. Again, another play action. Little motion, try to get guys out of position. We got, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the box. We'll count it. And then we got only 1 player is even paying attention to this side of the field. Maybe 2 players, right? And this is this receiver running open this way. So, again, you got a lot of A&M's DBs, linebackers, and linemen all looking field side, and they throw it boundary side for a touchdown, right? So just a good example of what you could have success. And obviously A&M's defense is working hard to, of course, not allow this to happen, but maybe there's an opportunity there. So let's look at Brady Cook. Let's look at a few throws of him. Here is some play action. Again, guy going in motion, trying to get the defense out of position. Play action, boom. We talked about, I think it can lead to some deep throws. There haven't been a ton of deep throws so far, but I think I know Cook's out of the picture a little bit. There he goes. He's back here, able to throw a nice ball to the sideline for a first down. Not a quote-unquote deep explosive play, but more of that intermediate throw. That even if you don't hit those deep throws, which I would like to, but if you have some big intermediate plays, that could still get the job done. Let's watch one more clip of Cook off play action, and then we'll watch one more clip, right? But I do want to see some play action from Cook. I do think he's good at it, even though they haven't ran it as much as I thought they would so far this season. And they haven't had a lot of big plays off of it, too. These are 2 of his better throws off play action. Again, only 24% of his dropbacks have been off play action, but good play action here. The ability is obviously there, and I think that could be there against A&M's defense. Nice mature throw. And then the last key that we're talking about with Cook is how quickly he gets the ball out. Get the ball out quickly, regardless if they blitz or not. Now, against BC, they're blitzing 6 right here. Open receiver. If you get the ball quickly to your receivers, you got some talented receivers. Maybe they make a defender or 2 miss like they do here, and it's able to lead to a touchdown. So, again, this was a 3rd and 4 ball out quick. Again, last year he either led the SEC or was number 2 behind Beck as far as completions where the ball was thrown in less than 2.5 seconds, right? So if you're Cook, I want to utilize play action. I want to push the ball downfield, and I want to get rid of the ball quickly. But if you're a Mizzou fan or even an A&M fan, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're a Mizzou fan, let me know your thoughts about Cook. What do you think the keys are for success for him against A&M's defense? And as always, if you like SEC quarterback content, we put out a lot of these previews and recaps on a weekly basis from SEC quarterbacks. So please consider liking the video, sharing it, and subscribing. It helps us grow. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.